It is still laundry day for me. That's right, laundry day has taken quite a while. Anyways, here's a brand new intake and valve design. Take a fucking cylinder or tube, okay? I'm gonna tell you this. Alright, you know bump stops, they're like fucking camshafts. You know what I mean? They have loads effectively on them. You know, on like prop designs, right? But it's like, hey, take that tube, put it in the center between your V8 and then have it spin. Then make it so that way there are valves around, and then put a tube into that tube, and then have it like pump a little bit into that tube, like a supercharger, except now you have a camshaft, really. And then equaling tube headers to each and every single one of your valves. Make sure that that's a bigger intake to the smaller, slightly sized intakes that go into the ports that are, of course, now smaller as well. Just make sure it's kind of like an Archimedes screw within inside of an Archimedes screw. And then guess what? Now because I have these fucking things called like, I don't know, fucking, what is this, hydraulic fluid that need to cool it anyways, it's like, guess what? That presses it open, and then that goes like, no, also close, okay? You know, like just do the Ducati while you also make sure to keep it cool, the air going in, and then also like constantly make sure everything that gets pumped already from a supercharger, because like it's a fucking camshaft. Like if you had to like fucking use 4 camshafts, look at the weight of this. That's parasitic loss. Why aren't you just doing this right? Why aren't you just fucking like doing this the correct way? Why are you so like lame about that? Anyways, I was just thinking about it because I saw this guy's like design. It was a V10 apparently, a Ford V10 4 valve. It's actually really cool, but then at the same time, I was like, wait a second, what's this little weird hump thing that goes back to the back, right? And I'm like, this is fucking inefficient as fuck for your runners. Your air intake is having a pulse session all up in there for your manifold that makes no sense because your plenum is garbage, and then, which is not, you know, like it fits underneath the car and everything, but it's just like, your resonant pulses, by the way, are just bad. But here's the reason why I actually said this, because it was like, okay, so I'll just open up a valve over here to the next fucking like intake. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I intake over here, and then it goes pulse over to here. All of the little fucking pulse goes over to the next intake. I get a short and a long runner that's also now bellissimo supercharged and liquid cooled. Boom, boom, right? You know what I mean? I'm like, just why don't you just do this? Why don't you just fucking do it properly? Why is it that you do it that way? But it's just like, it's a trigger for me, if you don't know. Like, every time I see him, I'm like, the only thing that you should have is, this is the size of your port, this is your max flow velocity, this is the size of your intake, which has to be larger, which then has to be equaling tube header, and then you always have to make sure that that pulse then goes over to the next area. And so, like, that's just an equaling tube header that ultimately moves together with your camshaft anyways. So it's just like, just get a fucking tube. Just get the right tube. It's going to spin anyways. You need camshafts. So, you know what I mean? So it's just like, here's 4 of them for 4 valves. Just fucking do it the right way. I don't get it. But they're like, no, I shall do it. Who taught you this? That is not the right way. Who told you these lies in your engineering and internal combustion engine classes? Who? I want to know who the fuck this was. I want to go back to the source of who said that this was the good idea to do. Who started this lie this fucking first time? Because you know what that means? There's some dumbass motherfuckers that all fucking taught you a whole bunch of lies, and now we're still doing it the old bad way that's not good. I don't get it. It makes me really annoyed, actually, after a while. Like, it really does. It's stupidly frustrating, and I don't like it. It's annoying. Who told you this? Who said that this was a good idea? Who said that these were the right ways of doing this? At the very least, they could have shaped the front end to curve in like a fucking 2-stroke engine, you know? So that way that resonance, and then like do a little freaking parabolic spike towards the center. That way it would curve in from that, you know, that intake, and then the intake would then do a Venturi effect from that pulse. But it's like, no, just do that from each and every single one of them with the air spike kind of like tube inside. But that's like, dude, why not just make it the fucking goddamn like actual like camshaft? Because it's basically like that acoustic beeswax thing, cylinder that goes ding 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 ding. Just fucking do that, right? Why don't you just do that? Like, you already know what that is. Why have you never thought to do that for your intake? Because you have hollow axles. You have superchargers. Like, you have centrifugal, Archimedes screw, pump, all that. Why is this not being a thing? But it's like, no. Here's the thing. Okay? I'm going to give you this one. You can make them smaller and lighter weight than a standard supercharger, because I don't need a scroll. Why would I need a scroll? Like, why would I need a scroll? I'm going to cool it anyways. It needs to fucking, like, why do I need this? There's, like, my heads. I just pour and cast this. Like, you know what I mean? It can be a one-part, whole, really strong block connection. I just push loads to it. But, see, this me right here, okay? Okay? I go, you need variable valve variation and timing. You know what that means? And lift. So it's like you got like a hydraulic booster, right? Right. Okay. Right. Except you don't really know what that really means. Because, like, really, I'm just going to extend a solenoid, and I'm going to move this down, and while that moves down, I'm then going to extend, like I have a bucket at the top of where that little plunger system is. So that way it extends its duration, right? So that way it's like, oh, I got timing, I get a little lift, and I get a little extra duration, which is great. Okay, like, that's what I'm looking for. But it's like, well, I'll do even one better. Why the hell do we even have this idea of, like, these types of valves? Like, for real, why don't you just slide them? Sliding valves make total sense now. We have linear bearings that are really good and can easily be cooled and still be sealed. It makes no sense to use poppet valves anymore. Why do we use them? Not to mention, it's just like, am I a joke to you? I can make hardline fucking tubes that can handle ridiculously high pressure. You know what I mean? Huge pressure. It's cheap. It's super cheap, It's super cheap to make that. Why would we do this? Why? This seems stupid. I just don't get it. It's like, I have to do a supercharger with camshafts anyways. Why don't I just do it the right way? Why is this the way we do this? I don't get it. Anyways, I'm done. There you go. Bye. Right, I needed to say, because I came back, I needed to say, like and subscribe, hit the bell, share it, comment, please. I love it when you comment the nice things. Please be nice. I'm just triggered because it was like, whatever that engine could do, it could do way more. And it's bad, and it makes me angry sometimes that it's not as efficient as it could be or as good as it could be. Even if it's a good engine and the people that built it are good. It's just... So, anyways, do all that. Have a good one. Bye.